Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, cuz Commander's number one. I've got the boys with me. I've got Sherman and Slothy. Sherman, how you doing today?
Good, not bad so far. It's warming up a little bit, so actually enjoying the weather out slightly. How about you?
Good. I was stuck on the highway for a while, so I made a bunch of decks. I made that silly one we were just talking about, where it was the Nissa Commander.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without lands, it's like $60. It's the lands is a reliquary tower, which in my opinion is still $60. Because not many people actually ever have to pay for basic lands. You know, you just kind of get them. You don't get them when you have the quantity I have, but most people just get them. But yeah, that was a really cool deck. It was like a $60 deck that was inspired by your Pia. Other than that, no, I just kind of hung out, bored. I was over my hours, so I just had to hang out. That's kind of what you do in a regulated industry. So, but now we're back. Yeah, it's just been a good week and stuff. I had nice visit with the wife last night, finally, and yeah, nothing too exciting this week. Slothy, how about yourself?
Doing pretty good. It was interesting week. More working.
Fair.
Got to leave early yesterday to go play hockey with the bosses, though, which was real fun.
I'm not a wonderful Canadian. I can't skate.
We'll have to get you out one day.
No, it'd be sad. I'm too big to catch.
No, skating's not bad. It's the stopping that's hard.
Oh, it's the starting. I'll break my leg again.
That's what the boards are for, Sherman.
3 more months of Painkiller podcast. Let's go. I slightly wish I had Painkillers to talk about today's set. I'm not happy about it. I'm not. It's again. I've been pretty vocally not happy about Aetherdrift, and again, I haven't really been looking at the spoilers because of it. So I would like to be wrong, and I'm sure I'll find a few cool things. We're probably going to 2-part this one because there's always a lot in spoilers. I don't know. I want to know what other people are like thinking about the set, because there's going to be cool cards. There's always cool cards somewhere, you know. And there's always like even the PNLR. That was a cool deck, right? But we're looking at the commander stuff first, and there's just woefully not really new cards, which kind of bums me out. Like it's how many new cards was it? Did we say 20?
Yeah, there's 20 new cards, including the 4 commanders.
There was only 2 decks, so what do you expect?
That does kind of keep with their trend of 10 new cards per pre-con.
I don't know. That just seems rough. It's 8 new cards, you know. Yeah. I guess though, the like you had mentioned, there are some cool reprints and stuff, and again, one of the commanders, the first one that we'll talk about is the Hashaton and stuff. It is like one of like the cards of the year that everyone won't stop talking about, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hashaton is ridiculous.
It's strong.
Yeah. I just, like I said, for me, running out to buy a commander deck where I got 2 new legendaries, like I liked the 3 options or like the 2 and 2 partners kind of thing. I liked that a little bit. I've kind of hated this like move to going over to just 2 commanders personally. I really liked but again, with that move, they have really focused the commander decks, and they are generally better decks. Right?
Yeah.
But like I said, like for me,
because you don't have to dedicate a third of the deck to one of the commanders, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Like I said, it's just it just for me running out and buying a deck that has like 2 legendaries and 8 new cards, not a giant turn on for me, because I'm like, okay, well, I'll just buy the singles I want from it, right? Like
and like you've been playing for a while, so you've probably got
I probably have most,
if not all, of the reprints. You could just buy the 8 singles, like you were saying, and then have the deck for way cheaper than what they're selling it for,
and not have to like take the cards out, like the inefficient cards and kind of thing, right? So again, I think I have to evaluate it more on the fact that I haven't seen how these ones play yet, but generally speaking, lately they have upped the consistency of these commander decks, and they're more for just someone new to get into it and stuff, right? Like they're not really the same buy and rip apart deck style of the old.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're generally speaking like this is just a solid deck out of the box. Make your changes, kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like they've been on a good track at kind of keeping things more focused and, well, upping the power level a little bit, so it's easier to just open one of these and play a game with 3 people who have built decks completely from scratch.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this first one. I'll finally pop it up and I'll stop hating. Our first one we have here is the Hashaton, and I'll let someone else here take it because I know you guys both like it more than me.
So before we jump into that, let's talk our sponsors.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Let's give a quick shout out to our new patron, Franz Strum. So thanks for joining us here. And if you're interested, please, come on and join us on Patreon. You can go sign up with us and everything. Join us in this Discord where we talk about these cards and how much Daniel hates this
how much
set.
we love them. You come over to the Discord and I secretly just love them. Like, I cannot wait for this set. It's all a ruse. I'm trying to make it so no one buys it and I buy it. Yeah, definitely come join us over on Patreon. It's a great spot to chat, build. You'd be able to actually see my deck that I posted of my silly energy one and stuff. As well, thank you to our House of Cards. They are a great place. Go to houseofcards.ca. Promo code IT99. You're going to get a discount. It's going to support us. It's great all around. And they always have great stock. So if you want any of these new cards from the set for today's episode, tomorrow's episode, kind of thing. And I say tomorrow, it's going to be next week. You guys aren't getting an extra bonus episode. What are we talking about? If you're on Patreon, you will. I'll put it up. I'll give the patrons a little bread and butter, But yes, and then the other thing is just go to AI Armor. They're just great sleeves for all these new decks. They've got definitely things that are going to fit the themes of these sets. Really cool artwork stuff, and they're just nice quality sleeves. They're not poofy. They're not bad. I just like them. I just really enjoy them.
The guild sleeves are absolutely beautiful.
The guild sleeves are beautiful. I was gonna say, let me pop these up on the screen here so I can show people. I always say how nice they are, but again, like, look at this. Look, if you're looking at the video, look at this. You can have nice, cool, like skull tree ones. There's so many cool sleeves. So go over to AI Armor, and they've got cool deck boxes now too. They've got lots of stuff, lots of really, really cool stuff that I need to get them to send me. These guild boxes are great. Yeah.
Yeah. That being said,
yeah. Now back to Hashaton, which again, buy at House of Cards because they're cool.
First one here, Hashaton Scarab's Fist, white and a black for a 1/3 legendary zombie wizard. Whenever you discard a creature card, you may pay 2 and a blue. If you do, create a tapped token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. This deck is so much fun.
So much fun for you that's piling in it.
Well, I mean, I built this one with a cycling theme.
That's fair.
And that's been, in just my little bit of playtesting, I haven't actually put it together in paper, but seems fun. But yeah, ridiculously powerful. There was a CEDH Discord for it almost immediately.
Well, yeah, because it has I was even wrong on the interaction. It has like a weird lionized diamond interaction where you can't like interrupt what's going on with it.
Mm-hmm.
Throw some split second on the stack, and then you put your creature out. They can't even respond to it. Like it's uninteractable.
And like it doesn't exile the creature from the graveyard as well, which is insane because you can just reanimate it and then have 2 copies.
Yeah, that's
of
actually
what you
cool.
wanted anyway, or bounce back to your hand, discard it again.
Out of the, like, it's a very cool card overall, and it's like the fact that it has zombie stapled on it, so you definitely generally want to go like, oh, this is like a cool zombie commander or a cool high power commander, but it's also just a really good wizard commander. because you can again it's got like wizard, like it's wizard tribal like right into it and everything, and you can toss your wizards away and make your weak wizards like 4/4 black zombie patron wizard is annoying, especially if you, like you said, you go into like a reanimation style theme.
Yeah.
So it definitely does have like a lot of potential. I think from what I've seen, and again, I've not looked at all the spoilers on this one for once because it's too much wizards. But from what I've seen, the commander stuff does look better. Like this is like they went to Amonkhet in the race, you know. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like Amonkhet themed, and I love Amonkhet as a plane. Kind of bothered by the fact that they're just like, oh, like it's a silly race through it now, instead of like going back and dealing with the actual like war-torn plane and the problem from everything that went on, an hour of devastation. But I ran for that for hours. The like I said, the Hashaton stuff, like it does look like a really cool commander. I will say, as a face commander, regardless of kind of what they stuffed in the deck, I think it's going to be a cool one.
This one actually isn't the face commander, I
Oh,
believe.
it's not?
No, I think
Temid
is, yeah. This is just the backup.
That's the face commander.
That's fair. Okay. All right.
Oh, and Temid's strong as well.
Well, let's get on with them. Sherman, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, I'll take the next one. So next one here we have is Pia Nalar, Chief Mechanic. So it's going to be green, blue, red for legendary creature, Human Artificer. It's a 2/4. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you get 2 energy. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay 1 or more energy. If you do, create an XX colorless vehicle artifact token named Nalar Aetherdrift with flying and crew 2, where X is the amount of energy spent this way. This is the one we did deck tech on last week.
Yeah, very cool deck tech. You should definitely go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
I do really like this Saheeli. The next one we have here, we have Saheeli Radiant Creator 1, and then we've got Teamer green, blue, red for a 4/4 Human Artificer. Whenever you cast an Artificer or artifact spell, you get an energy counter. I really like that, like including Artificer in it, because it's kind of annoying looking through those cards that like are artifact themes and are artificers, but like they don't work with my artifact deck. So I'm like, ugh. So it's kind of nice to see that. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay triple energy. When you do, you create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control, except it's a 5/5 artifact creature in addition to its other types and has haste. Sack at the next end step. This is unbelievably good. You're in all the colors to tutor out your Sundial of the Infinite, all the colors for your end the turn kind of effects. You've got like your Obika effects to end like the turn. Pretty sure Obika's only 2 colors, right?
Obika is
or is she red green?
3 color.
Okay.
She's red, blue, black.
Okay, we can't Obika, but still, like, just again, the fact that at the beginning of combat on your turn, you can pay 3. 3 is like nothing in energy counters. You can stack them up so fast. And you can do this for any permanent you control, which is really, really cool for like, I'm going to do Valakuts. I'm going to do like just any of these like really, really cool land style extra land decks. I'm going to make extra doubling seasons. I'm going to make extra of my enchantments. They're very, very strong potential with this card, like just with it being target permanent that becomes a 5/5 artifact creature. Like I really, really like this deck. I think there's a lot of cool ways to build it. It is one of the cooler commanders I've seen, and I like the artwork on it.
Yeah, the artwork is beautiful.
Yeah, I will probably pick up a single of it. Depending on the actual full deck list, I might just buy it for like my wife because it's pretty artwork. And my wife is a simple lady who likes pretty artwork. She's discovered cracking Pokemon packs. It's over, boys. It's too much there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's she's got the addiction.
The final commander here is the base commander of the Esper deck. We have Temid Noctimoon's Will. 2 an Esper for a 4/4 legendary zombie wizard with vigilance and menace. Whenever you attack, draw a card, discard a card. Whenever you draw a card, zombies you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
I'm looking forward to this one.
It's kind of cool. I like this a lot less than the Hashaton, but whenever you draw as a pump, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, so like brainstorm and get +3/+3.
Yeah, instant speed brainstorm attack with your zombies, which brings most zombies to like 5/5. So yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you slap card draw on any commander, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Come on.
Yeah.
And plus, I get a pump effect when I draw a card. Seriously.
I generally don't like the connive style stuff where you draw and discard. I'm not much for looting unless it's in a specific deck.
Yeah, but that's because you're not much of a reanimator kind of or
I'm
like you
greedy.
don't
I want the cards
use
in
your
my hand.
graveyard that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you just got to look at the graveyard kind of as a second hand. That's what I've been doing, and it's been great.
Exactly.
It is very cool artwork on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's I like it. Like I said, this one doesn't seem like a deck style I'd personally build. But again, any effect that does give you draw and also a pump anthem for doing that already, and it's not other zombies too, it's pumping itself, which is very strong.
Yeah, it's really nice that it has kind of what it needs to do all right there.
Yeah.
Like I feel Temet's like a very, very it's a commander that's friendly for anyone that's getting into Magic for the first time or like a beginner for EDH. Just because like it's zombies. Zombies are basically build itself.
Yep.
You know, like you just flapping on the lords, you know, you attack and you draw, like you're getting the pump effect, so you're understanding possible combat tricks and everything. Like it's really, really nice. And we don't see that many combat tricks anymore in EDH. I don't know about you guys, but I really don't.
I play combat tricks so much.
I love me a good combat trick.
I live the combat trick dream. But sure. I think that, like you said, that having a deck like this where it's meant to spit out zombies, it's meant to be like, hey, like these are your boys, pump your boys up. That's a pretty easy way to get people into the game, right? Like it's fun to be like, look at my like army of zombies I'm commanding. Look at my that's why it's so fun to play slivers, right? Like slivers are arch enemy cards all the time. But it's just like you're just getting together with the lads, rolling the table and stuff. I simply play Sliver Overlord. I'm trying to have a good time. You know, it's fun to have a big board of just your buddies. You know, so I can definitely see that. And a pump effect on draw is without question strong because you can Winds of Change.
Yeah, Winds of Change, Windfall.
That's the one I was thinking. Windfall, Winds of Change is red. Windfall, yeah, that's the one I was thinking. And yeah, exactly. It's okay. I draw 13, and you have a lot of zombie hate coming at you.
And like the minimum pump that you're going to get on this is +2/+2 a turn.
Oh yeah, I guess whenever because it's not whenever you draw another card. Yeah, so your start you get.
So by the time that Temet attacks, he's minimum 6/6.
Yeah,
if full turn has gone around.
Yeah, I didn't even consider that he would get that pump at the beginning draw too. So yeah, so it is strong.
Then you throw in your Consecrated Sphinxes, your
Howling Minds, or any of that kind of stuff. Howling Minds in every deck. But yeah, like it's just the it's good. It's definitely cool.
Think of it as a group hug zombie deck.
Group hug zombies? Interesting.
Yeah, like throwing in your Howling Mind, Dictate of Prufix, you know, all the things where you get to extra draw, you know, coming up the Crescent Moon.
That's technically what Hour of Devastation was supposed to be. They thought they were being friendly. They thought it was all group hug zombies, you know? Come on, guys, beat the trials. You're gonna ascend. And then it was just Nicobolus being a little prankster, little trickster bolus.
Temet is officially a better group hug precon than Miss Bumbleflower.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
There you go. There you go.
Add a generous, not a generous gifts. What's the truce one where you secret rendezvous? You and target opponent each draw 3 cards and stuff. There we go. I might now make group hug Temet
Yeah, you have
Zombie
that. You
hug.
have cut a deal where everyone draws a card. For each card they draw, you draw a card.
Mm-hmm. Wedding ring.
So, yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys have convinced me to build group hug Temmet. I'm in.
There you go.
I'm interested. Well, and you can also you can run your normal cool discard stuff too. You could also build this as a discard commander. You have a discard outlet built into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could play some of the zombies that you can cast from your graveyard, and
Well, and again as well, you do have that. You can play this as a cycling commander because you do have that ability.
Mhm.
You have the thrown in discard.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I might actually build a group hug Temmet because I like to. A lot of times I like to just like fill the board with like tokens and stuff, right? I like to be, but I don't like to attack with them. I just kind of like to chill out a lot of the time. Just be a friendly boy. So a group hug Temmet where I'm not attacking, I'm just amassing zombies. I'm just chilling, giving everyone draw. It could be fun.
See,
force fruition.
that's when you can have like things like where you have like the curses and you play it on yourself. That's what I do. Like I'll have like the wall of shadows or a wall of vapors. So wall of fog, stuff like that. But then I put like the curses where like if you attack me, like for the black one, you get a zombie and I get a zombie. I won't block with my zombie, but we can both build an army.
Deck names come at me, bro. I like it. All right. I'm convinced that the commander stuff doesn't suck so bad so far. Let's look at some of these new cards. Sherman, you take us away with our first one.
All right. This first one, on Wings of Gold, for 3 and a white, it's an enchantment. Creatures you control that are zombies and or tokens get +1/+1 and have flying. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 1/1 white zombie creature token. I really like the fact that they said zombies and or token. So if you have just a token strategy, you can throw this in as well.
Yeah.
I mention this deck a lot, but I really like that first line of text for Arnius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The again, for anything that's just any kind of reanimation style is also just good, right? Like Orzhov does have a lot of shenanigans in general that are like reanimator, like go to the grave, come back, go to the grave, come back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Even
go ahead.
I was thinking of like not just Orzhov, like because like in Boros even you have Oscar, you have Quintus, like the ones from Strixhaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you have a lot of like Boros graveyard shenanigans from Strixhaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you're exiling
like
the artifacts from your graveyard.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm a professionally certified hater in general of like this set, but I do love this artwork on it and the flavor text because of it. The edge of the Nakatum was once protected by Kefnet. The honored mummies who patrol it now do so in its image. That's very cool. Like story wise, it's like a very, very cool like homage to Kefnet, who's my boy. I love Kefnet. I have so many Kefnet decks. Nicol is a bad guy.
Poor guy.
Nicol Bolas was a really not nice person on Amonkhet. There's nothing else to say about it. He was just not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take us into our next one here. It's got Bird Cleric in it, and I'm still in the middle of building another Kestrel deck, so I like birds. Preach the Crossing. 3 and a white for a 3/3 zombie Bird Cleric with flying. At the beginning of each end step, put X/1/1 counters on each creature you control, where X is the number of creatures that died under your control this turn. That's fairly solid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of decks that I play. Like I wouldn't really play it in a deck like this as much, but I would play it way more in my like birds, where I'm like just making bird tokens and throwing them away. But again, that's a very, very strong ability for any sacrifice themed deck where you can instant speed sacrifice your stuff going to end step, pump your stuff up 13, and now you go to your next step. Is strong.
Yeah, like I can see them doing this in this deck just because like you are from time to time creating like token zombies, so you're just trying to throw them away, and as they die, then they just get pumped up, and if they don't die, that means you're letting them through, and then you're taking damage, right?
Well, you also have the decayed strategy in zombies, right? Where they can't block, they're only aggressive attackers. There's no point to hold them back. You just swing with them, right? So even one or two of those dying a turn, pumping everything +2 is very strong.
Yeah.
I don't think they. I know like if you build with decay, that's fine. Like if you put on like Wilhelm or whatever, like the mirror one, but I don't think they have decay in the set here.
Oh no, I just
No.
mean in general, like just in general, the decayed mechanic is like so prevalent on a lot of zombie cards where it makes those tokens.
Yeah,
and then you just have throwaway aggro attackers.
Mm-hmm. Moving on here, we've got Renewed Solidarity. 2 and a white for an enchantment. As this enchantment enters, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+0, and at the beginning of your end step, for each token you control of the chosen type that entered this turn, create a token that's a copy of it.
Yeah, it's
like
good.
So
that's real good.
That's pretty good. That's a very good card. That's like a pretty extreme chase card, I would say. It's it's nearly Anointed Procession good.
Yeah.
And any deck that can run Anointed Procession would want to run this. Like that's a good card.
Like I like the fact that they did limit it to choosing a creature type. So for like the one ability, so like most people are going to be hung up on trying to make that work with the second part. But even if you don't have like, even if you choose something stupid and you never really get that creature type, just the fact that you can create an extra token is just so powerful. It doesn't matter.
Again, I don't ever see people really building like 30 different token styles, right? Most people are like, this is a Saproline token deck. This is a Soldier token deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that this is gonna, in a lot of decks, go pretty hard. And the fact that it's an anthem on it, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that card. I got nothing bad to say.
The next one we have here is Wizened Mentor for 1 and a white. It's a creature zombie cleric. That's a 2/2. Whenever an opponent activates an ability of a permanent that isn't a mana ability, you create a 1/1 white zombie creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn.
It's also very strong.
I don't know about that. I would have to test this one out just because as the game goes, as more and more sets get released, you see more and more cards that are triggers as opposed to activating abilities.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just the like there's just a lot of I play the red version of this where like Harsh Mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I damage people pretty aggressively with it in a lot of games. It's it's a little bit of a bummer. This is only once each turn.
But they probably had to do it because it like they're afraid it might get out of hand. But this really does come down to your play group, right? Like I know some play groups where like they do have like cards where they activate a lot of the abilities, and I have other play groups where like it's all about like ETBs, right? So there's like almost no activated abilities.
Well, like Slothy
So it really
investigating, right? Every time Slothy investigates, now I get a zombie is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah,
like,
the ones
like if you're cracking a clue, or like,
yeah,
like if you have like Tireless Tracker, let's say, and you landfall, that's a triggered ability. It doesn't activate this.
That one, but I'm saying the using the clue.
Yeah, he means cracking the clue.
Cracking the clue,
Yeah,
cracking the food,
right?
which is like a prevalent thing that happens in games right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm saying like it's very, very situational. It depends on like your play group. If like you have someone like Slothy that has like a lot of clue, like likes to play with a lot of clues, sure. You know, same thing was like food tokens and everything. But if you have like a play group that plays a lot of treasures, those are still mana abilities.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The I just like it because like clerics really slot into a lot of stuff I like. I like a lot of cleric theme decks, as well as like just in general, they work for all the party mechanic stuff, right?
Yeah, I was just thinking about this in Nalia.
Yeah. Well, and that's the again that the other commander Barakos and
Mhm.
the like and party leader. It's like one of my favorite decks. I love that deck. I would actually never get rid of that deck. It's so fun to play. So like I definitely have a soft spot for cleric themes. I have a Regal cleric deck even, right? Like it's of course I do. But I really just like that ability. I just wish it wasn't that. Like you said, if your play group is more triggers, then it could be not wonderful. But in any deck that's like going zombies or like just like passively making tokens, I think you're going to get value out of it. Worst case, it's still a 2/2 body for 2, which is just fine.
This is a side note. Barakos, you run Folk Hero, right?
Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, not party leader.
Yeah, you run Folk Hero.
Well, Barakos Party Leader, I think, is his full name.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, Folk Hero where you get the draw. I love that
Yeah.
commander so much. It's such a fun commander.
I love the choose a background so much.
Yeah, I really do hope they expand that. That's still, I think, one of my favorite things that they've done. But yeah, I'll
100%.
You should,
go ahead, sorry.
no, I was thinking like with Baracos, because like when I do Baracos, I do it with the sailor one at the background, so like you get the free attack on whoever had the highest life total.
The Sword Coast, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. What I'm finding for a lot of this, again, I think it's coming more from I've got a lot of decks, right? So for me, this doesn't seem super hype on like, oh, this is a cool new deck that I want to play this way. A lot of these are like, oh, this is a piece I would like for another deck so far. Like so far, every one of these cards would slot into another deck of mine. Great.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't want just specifically like a new deck of them. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'm like, nah, this would fit perfectly over here. I think it's you next, Slothy, or is it me?
It's you.
All right, well then I think it's me next. Prophet of the Scarab. 4 and a blue for a 3/4 zombie wizard with flying. When it enters, draw cards equal to the number of zombies you control or the number of zombie cards in your graveyard, whichever is greater. That's good. I think that's a solid
I like
ETB.
that.
Yeah, especially if you're going for a token theme.
Yeah.
With the zombies.
Well, again, or a reanimator theme. I wish its cost was just 1 lower. At 4, I think this would be wonderful. At 5, still decent, still playable, but
but like in the pre-con, like this would pretty much be like a game ender, right? Which is probably why they did it at the 5.
yeah. Again, it's
like,
it's a powerful card. Like it is a solid card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like just thinking of the base commander Temet, right? If you threw this down and you had like, let's say like 4 zombies on the field, but 5 zombies in the grave. All right, you draw 5 cards. They all get like another +5/+5. You already get 1 from the draw from the beginning of the turn, so they're already like +6/+6. Plus you attack, they're +7/+7. It's almost like a crater hoof in a sense.
You're not wrong about that. Like I was saying, I keep looking at it as like this is stuff I would use in other decks, but with that commander anthem, that is very good. This is a game ender. You are right.
Oh.
Next one we've got
Slothy?
here is Ret Tomb Mystic. 1 and a blue for a 2/1 zombie bird wizard with flying. Each creature card in your hand has cycling for 1 and a blue.
That's dope.
I love everything about this card.
Yeah.
Honestly, wish this card was legendary. I like the artwork. I like the effect. I like it all.
Hey, that hasn't stopped you before.
It has never stopped me. It didn't stop me before. I like that ability for cycling. I think it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a really good way, especially with the Hashaton.
Yep. Well, and again, another cool anthem. It's I just pay to throw it away, draw 3 or 4 cards, and yeah, I like that a lot.
What was the card that lets you cycle for free?
Gavi.
Yeah, Gavi, Nest Tender. Love it.
There we go.
Love it. That again,
All right.
a great card in mini decks, but yeah, I just think it's pretty solid, and I like that artwork. I think it's very well done. Kefnet mentioned, Daniel happy.
All right.
Daniel's a simple man.
Next card here. Lost Monarch of Ifnir for 3 and a black. Creature, zombie, noble. It's a 4/4. It has afflict 3. Other zombies you control have afflict 3. I like that already. At the beginning of your second main phase, if a player was dealt combat damage by a zombie this turn, no 3 cards. Then you may return a creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Yo!
That's good. That's a powerhouse card. That's really strong.
Yeah.
Again, another game ender. Okay, but don't worry, I've got blockers. Won't be a problem.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Slothy, I'd like to change the order. You and me here.
I was just about to ask you that. Next up, we've got the Territorial Aether Kite, 4 double red for a 6/5 cat dragon, with flying and haste. When this creature enters, you get 2 energy counters. Then you may pay 1 or more energy counters. When you do, this creature deals that much damage to each other creature.
Honestly, pretty solid.
6 mana Blasphemous Act.
In even in a non-energy deck, it's still a flying haste 6/5 at 6, which is great. That's gonna board wipe all like the little weenies off the board.
Yeah.
This would
They'll deal 2 damage to everything.
This would devastate my Rigo deck. I would never financially recover.
All right. Dan hates this card and its anti-Rigo rhetoric.
Yeah, exactly. I won't stand for it. This next one I loved. I really, really liked just how this card was built. And this is a World Soul Speaker, 3 and a green for 3/3 elf druid. Whenever a land you control enters, you get double energy, which is cool. And then you can pay 8 energy rather than pay the mana cost for permanent spells you control, which is, I think, really, really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice way to get, because in the deck you're gonna spit out. Then you can just focus all of your mana on your normal go get land spells, like your circuitous roots, your explosive vegetations, all that stuff, and then you play the permanents with your energy counter stuff. I really, really liked it.
Yeah, this seems like a really, really, really interesting card for a commander. So yeah, I would be really interested to see what you build out of this, Daniel.
Did you see my my budget version of it?
I haven't looked at it yet. I know you just posted it. You posted it like half an hour ago, man. I'm prepping. I'm doing other stuff.
Oh, Sherman's getting ready for the episode we're actually recording and not looking at my nonsense decks. Okay. It's
get him out of here.
I'm business. You know that.
Get him out of here. It's like a $60 deck. It is pretty cool. It gave me for me, speaking specifically, if you were to build this illegally like I did, wink, wink. I built this with the Royal Cartographer as a partner, which was really, really cool in my opinion. But I filled it with the Moonfolk stuff. So like the Moloko, the Patron of the Moon, those like 7 mana, 6 mana Moonfolk things that lets you put lands from your hand into play or bounce lands back to do things. It looks like just a really, really fun deck. So I'm hoping people generally let me play it. Generally speaking, I found that people are pretty open to me playing kind of whatever I want, as long as I explain what it is, and as long as I'm not trying to be like annoying. Like again, no one's ever going to let me put like Dockside in the command zone.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, there definitely has to be a little bit of a balance. You can't just have something that's insane and expect people to be okay with it. But
again, the whole deck theme, the whole deck theme is about getting energy. Royal Cartographer gives me a little bit of draw. This gives me the ability to pay some of it, but it's no different than just a normal ramping out deck, right? Like every Simic deck is like free spells and draw cards. Like that's, replace it with X, Y, or Z. But it's to me it seemed at a minimum, mechanically unique to what I normally play. So, like I said, I'll try it out. My play group's very, very nice. So, also, if other people have tried this and stuff and like make some illegal commanders, I want to know like how you guys find it, because I personally never find people having a problem with it at like events. I think people just want to play the game. As long as you're having fun, people want to play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if I'm just like trying to be like, this is an illegal commander deck. Don't worry, guys. I've partnered. It's an artifact deck. I have Static Orb and Winter Orb as my commanders. It's totally fine above board, you know? No, you know what I mean? Like, as long as you're being reasonable, I think people are pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
You just generally have to find like a backup commander. I used I have 2 in that one. So either the Joel Rail, which is the beginning of your combat, a land you control becomes a green elemental with flying until end of turn, which is cool. And whenever you deal combat damage with a land creature, you draw. Or the Gioti from the Omo deck. Is that what it's from, Sherman?
The Gioti? I think so.
Yeah, whenever it enters, you get a green forest dryad for each time you've cast at the beginning of combat. Your land creatures get this. So it's still like a lot of land. There's 3 or 4 different Simic commanders in here that you can do silly stuff with, but I just think it's fun. Again, you have to spend the energy. The energy's not free. It's a cool deck. You gotta believe me. You gotta believe me, please.
Plus it's 8 energy.
It is 8 energy, right? So you have to have a minimum of 4 lands entering to use that ability even a single time, which is okay. After you've cast Nissa, you're already at 8 mana. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I could talk for a while about how much this card I did really, really like seeing. I thought it was pretty cool. I think it's nicely costed. I think it's nice artwork, and I like landfall stuff, and I think I built an interesting landfall-ish deck that doesn't rely on your like traditional like I Scoot Swarm 1,000th time. You know? There's no Avenger of Zendikar to speak of. It's just it's all about board. I'd really love your opinion on it. Maybe I'll post it in the show notes and everyone can tell me what they think about my trash decks. All right, next card.
All right, next one is going to be Pima Trailblazer for 2 and a green creature elephant with warrior. It's 3/3 trample. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you get that many energy. It also has exhaust. You pay 6 energy, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Then draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. It's strong. Like it's just 3/3 for 3.
We're back to my hating. The exhaust mechanic's brutal.
Yeah.
Only once is
Yeah. For a set that is supposed to be fast. Why are things so slow?
Right?
Like was the exhaust mechanic okay? I like everyone talks about like we can flicker things, you know. Okay, cool. This shows that like you know like this card is like okay if you flicker it then the counters go away, so it's kind of pointless. So,
yeah.
I don't like this card at all.
It's like I said, the exhaust mechanic. I saw the new loot and I was like, wow, this looks pretty cool. Maybe this set isn't horrendous. And then I was like, you know, it's like you said, having to go into Blink to utilize it. It's I guess, but still, even at the end, right? Like it's just a one-time ability. It's a cool draw engine, I guess, at its worst. I don't know. I wish it was more repeatable.
Yeah,
because it's so.
I'm not a fan of this card.
I was gonna say it's so dies to removal. I activate this and everything, and you're like, okay, well, I just Swords to Plowshare your thing. And I'm like, oh well, I guess I get 5 instead of 15 I was trying to get. I don't know. All right.
Next up here, we've got the Rampaging Aether Hood. 4 and a green for a 4/4 Snake Hydra with Trample and Ward 2. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get an amount of energy counters equal to this creature's power. Then you may pay 1 or more energy counters. If you do, put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature.
Yeah.
See, I like this one.
I bet you do. That one's pretty cool. I do like that one. It stocks energy really cool. And it, like, to me, it looks like classic, like, comic book art, so I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I play a lot of snakes, so
The ward on this is rough.
yeah, that's a lot of stats stapled onto this thing. It's an energy generator, it's trample, it's ward, it gets enormous, it's only 5 mana, it hurts me when it hits me.
Yeah.
Next we have the Adaptive Omni Tool for 2 mana. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for each artifact you control. Very powerful ability. Especially for any artifact or like equipment decks, like that's a monster ability. Whenever equipped creature attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an artifact from among them, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom in a random order. That's an equipment staple. That's a phenomenal equipment. And equip 3.
Yeah, this one's real good.
Yeah, it's at the same cost for casting and equipping as like your Sword of Fire and Ice, those things. And again, this is a late game monstrosity if it comes down early. Or late, it's very powerful late. If it's early, it's digging through your deck 6 deep at a time to find equipments. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and like this with all that glitters.
Yep. Monster.
Yeah. Big fan of that one.
All right. Next one looks like it's a possible win condition here. It's Aetherflux Conduct. Or it's a 6 mana artifact. Whenever you cast a spell, you get an amount of energy equal to the amount of mana spent to cast that spell. Tap it to pay 50 energy. Draw 7. You may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana cost. This feels like a game ender, but 50 energy is a lot.
50 is a lot.
You definitely have to have a whole bunch of things like the Pima Trailblazer or the Rampaging Aetherhood, where you can just crunch out a whole bunch of energy at once, because 50 mana worth of spells to get 50 energy is a bit rough.
Yeah.
But that's not how you would be playing this one. You'd be playing it with the things like the Trailblazer.
In any deck as well that's like a free cast themed deck where you're like a lot of chaos themed decks could also really, really benefit from this, where you're like a Tali, you're casting from the top of everyone's library on an attack. Right? Like I get like 5 on mine, I get 4 from Sherman, a 3 from Slothy, and then like a 5 from Emery or something, right? You could get it up pretty fast that way, but again, like you said, 50 is pretty big.
Would that work with Atali? Because you're not paying any mana to cast those spells.
It's equal to the spells. Oh, the mana spent to cast that spell. Oh, okay. Oh, so they did. Interesting. Okay, so you can't free cast get it and get like your twin copies. Well, that's much worse then. Again, it's still cool for energy themed decks, but I think it's more niche that way than the. I doubt you're dropping this again as a 6 mana. You're fairly late into a commander game. Everyone's really kind of building, and then having to spend 50 more mana past that to use its effect once is rough. But I guess if you have a big board state too, and you're just like casting like huge, like anything that's like letting you pump infinite mana into stuff, as well as kind of cool, you can do it. But I don't know, it's a lot of hoops to jump through to make it playable outside of energy.
Yeah,
give this to a Rooftop Storm and Gravecrawler.
Yeah, I guess
you can do that.
No, that wouldn't work because you're paying 0 for it. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
And even if you have infinite mana, like you wouldn't care. You're pretty much winning the game regardless anyway. So you might as well just.
Yeah, if you've got infinite mana, you've probably got some way to draw some cards, and you're already pretty much casting spells without paying anything for them.
It's a lot of hoops to jump through if it's not your energy deck. All right.
I don't like this conduit. No, I don't like this card.
It's very cool in the deck that I built. I think I think the deck I built is $65 or $66, and at $6, it's basically most of the deck's cost is in this card.
Gee. Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on here, we've got the Etheric Amplifier, 3 mana artifact. You can tap it for 1 mana of any color. And you can pay 4 and tap it to choose one, activate only as a sorcery. You can double the number of each kind of counter on target permanent, or double the number of each kind of counter you have. So long as you don't have infect counters on you, this is pretty good.
I double my own death.
I've got 5 infect counters. I've got a place I need to be in 3 minutes. All right. Goodbye.
It's time for dinner. I will be going. Yeah, that's a good card. I didn't include that one in my energy version, but it's there's a ton of decks that want this. On target permanent basically makes it so you can alt any planeswalker that drops like off the bat, which is very, very strong in general. There's so many like there's a lot of cool stuff that you can get, but most of the time I think it's going to be the best suited for experience counter decks out of everything.
Yeah. This one also does cut what you need for Aetherflux Conduit in half.
Yep, that's very true.
Which makes it way easier.
Mm-hmm. It's again, there's just a lot of like Hydra decks where if you double the number of counters on the Hydra, that's a big problem. There's any of the from Bloomborough, that coat of arms, but only for your creatures. Again, which is counters. There's a lot of things.
Strixhaven Stadium.
Yeah, well, again, exactly. Doubling the ability to double counters is a very strong ability. Simic Ascendancy for win conditions kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Divine Intervention even.
What's it called? That green card that gets the counters, and then if you got 7 or more creatures, you can Beastmaster Ascension.
Yeah. Really quickly, Divine Intervention for anyone who doesn't know it. It's 6 double white. You put 2 counters on this card, remove a counter during your upkeep. When you remove the last one, the game's over and considered a draw. So it would be nice to keep the game going this way. Just, I'm threatening everyone with Divine Intervention counters. I'll keep doubling it back to 2. But never test me. We have the Stride. What was that?
No, I was gonna say I would use this card for the Armageddon Clock instead.
Yeah, shenanigans.
You could do this as a group hug card too.
You can double it for other people too. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Your Wishclaw Talisman.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Wishclaw Talisman so much. That's a great target for Wishclaw Talisman. Everybody gets to tutor.
Spread around.
I really like that one. You got me. It's going in the this is going in the Temet group hug. We have Stridehanger Automaton. It is a 3-mana 1/4 construct. Thopters you control get 1/1. If one or more artifact tokens will be created under your control, those tokens plus an additional 1/1 Thopter artifact creature token with flying are created instead. That's great.
Illegal Commander.
Really, really cool in like the Leonardo da Vinci style decks, the Psi Master Thopters, obviously decks like Thopters are pretty cool just in general. It's nice that it can kind of slot into anything with it. I don't like as much that it's artifact tokens, but it also goes in any deck that's running like your treasure token themes, right? Your Smothering Tithe. Do you pay the mana? Well, now if I don't pay, you're getting a treasure and a Thopter. That's a problem.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's really, really, really good with stuff like you were just saying. Because then you've got mana and blockers, or card draw and blockers, life gain and blocker.
Well, yeah, not to beat a dead horse here, but like Marnius Calgar every time. Each
Investigate's a separate trigger.
Yeah, Investigate is a separate trigger, so it's it doesn't say once a turn. It's just once per that. If one or more, so you investigate, you get a Thopter. Investigate, you get a Thopter. You're getting 2 draws on Marnius. You kill yourself. It's big brain stuff.
The Auspicious Interrogation, getting 40 clue tokens, 41 ones.
Draw 80 cards, die instantly.
Draw all of my cards.
Do you have to draw with Marnius?
Yes. Whenever you create one or more, you have to draw.
That's funny. Well,
For the Emperor.
oh, one or more, so you still
For
only draw
the-
one each time, but damn.
Not if it's investigate.
True. Well, no, I mean, like, because it's one or more, you'd investigate and make a Thopter. So you draw and then draw and then draw and then draw.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have to draw
Yeah.
80. And then we have one final card, I think, is the new one.
Yeah, the last one here is going to be a Cursed Duneyard. So it's a land. You tap for a colorless. You tap 2, and you tap it. You regenerate target Shade, Skeleton, Spectre, Spirit, Vampire, Wraith, or Zombie. So it's like a Swarm Yard, but for all this other stuff.
Yeah, kind of a big bummer to put a card like that into this because there's a lot of decks that really, really like that. Spirits
Yes.
are popular, vampires, zombies. These are great.
You need a chase card in the commander decks. Come on.
This is going in my Enrica Domnathi Halloween theme deck because it is all zombies and skeletons and spirits.
It's all spooky boys.
It's all the spooky boys.
There is some cool stuff. Like before we'll quickly touch on some of the notable reprints, but these new ones are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I like quite a few of these.
Man, I love that Nissa. And again, like I said, there's some cool stuff. They got some cool shoutouts to Kefnet. I got nothing bad to say.
All right, before we get into the reprints, though, what is each of your favorite non-commander new card?
Sherman, you
For
first.
this? Well, let's see. Non-commander. So not the 4 base ones, right?
Yeah.
All right. I have to say, probably the Stride Hanger Automaton, the ones that make the Thopters. Cause you know me, I like Thopters. I like making them.
That is a very cool card.
Mm-hmm.
It's very playable, right? And it's good. It goes into a lot. My heart wants to say the Renewed Solidarity because of like it's like essentially like another Anointed Procession for a lot of decks, which makes it very, very powerful. Very, very good as a card. However, I love this Nissa.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love this Nissa if people let me illegally pair it. As a mono green landfall commander, it's all right. But other things, very cool. How about you?
Mine is the Ret Tomb Mystic. I'm a very big fan of playing around with my graveyard, so another way to get stuff in my graveyard is always very, very welcome.
Mm-hmm. A foil version of that, I know you won't be able to get them, but a foil version of that card would go hard. I love the artwork on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just imagining the foil as like the little scribes.
Yeah, right.
That they've got there is just kind of like popping.
That would be awesome. I like it. There is some new artwork on stuff. Like, so we got new artwork on a ton of really good cards, like Swords, Commence the End Game. There's 25 cards with it. New art for Swords. Reality Shifts artwork looks really, really cool. The Grave Titan, it also looks pretty wonderful.
I really like that new Grave Crawler art.
I haven't even got to that one. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. The Midnight Reaper artwork is also really, really nice. There's a new Chaos Warp artwork in every set. Yeah,
same with like Arcane Signet and Soul Ring.
That Zombie Master goes pretty hard.
Absolutely, it does.
It's pretty good.
Is he standing on 2 of those hands?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That guy's aura farming. That goes hard for sure. That's a great reprint and again, really, really cool artwork. Druid of Purification's artwork also pretty wonderful.
Academy Ruins getting a reprint is...
Chromatic Lanterns, like new artwork, as we said, in Sherman's was cool. Academy Ruins is a good one for sure. The Command Towers are cool. The Path of Ancestry is cool. And then they just is there any other in the like God Eternal Oketra being in the deck is pretty decent. I'm just scrolling.
Maskwood Nexus is insane.
They have a Maskwood Nexus in there.
Yeah.
Again, a Crypt Reaper, a Dam is wonderful. Dreadhorde Invasion. That's a great card. Just
Elder
overall.
Gargaroth finally got a reprint.
Rot Hulk, which was only from the command decks. You like basically can't even get that card anywhere. That's a very, very cool reprint. It's from the like the Game Knights decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whenever this creature enters, return up to X target zombies from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the number of opponents you have. That's a great ETB on a zombie. Gear Hulk, we've got.
They reprinted Reckless Fireweaver, which is nice because you can never find a copy of it, even though it's common.
Even,
I have so many of them.
Even your Blasphemous Axe, right? Like having Blasphemous Axe is not always. Yeah, Elder Gargaroth, the Bootlegger Stash, those are both pretty wonderful reprints.
Even just
a Scarab God in the deck.
Yeah. Dam getting a reprint's pretty good.
Conjurer's Closet, again, another pretty pricey card generally. I think Conjurer's Closet is like $10. Panharmonicon, you love to see it. I don't even know why would they have a Panharmonicon?
Monument was like $10.
A lot of the monuments are pretty expensive. Yeah, again, why would Panharmonicon be in either of these decks? None of them are ETB themed. I guess a lot of the cards are when this enters get energy. That makes sense to me. Mm-hmm. But again, you love to see it. You love to see the talismans. There's again, they look pretty okay depending on their price. They might be like worth a pickup. For me, it would be to rip apart into other decks.
Yeah.
This Saheeli I would fully gut into a totally new deck, which would be so fun. Hashaton seems very good too. They're pretty good. Like I said, I don't have anything really to say bad about the commander section of it.
Yeah.
I'm saving all that for the main. Yeah. Any final thoughts on this one? Or are we wrapping this one here, boys?
Slothy, you go first.
Sure. Yeah, I really, really do enjoy the commander decks. I think that both of them are fun. They kind of got their own ideals, and I really like how the precons are becoming more focused.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this set is finally going to encourage me to build an energy deck.
Let's go.
It's getting way more support, which is always nice. Hashaton has my entire heart. Discarding graveyard stuff has been my jam for a while, so seeing that is awesome. But yeah, overall, I have very little bad to say about these two decks. I think the reprints are good. I think the new cards are good. That's about it.
And Sherman.
What do you think, Daniel?
Oh, I already gave my thoughts. I think it's not as bad. There's a few cool cards for me. The decks, no matter how they're built, are rip apart decks. Just to me, I wouldn't play them really in their current format. Maybe the draw zombies could be cool, but I don't really need a zombie draw deck. Like there's a lot of these cards go better into other decks for me. Mm-hmm. And then I would make the what's his name? The Temet. I would make that a group hug card because I think that's funny.
I think that's a really neat way to build Temet.
Yeah, Temet group hug sounds hilarious. I might do that actually as well. Like it just sounds stupid. I like these commander sets. Like Aetherdrift, like the concept was kind of iffy, and then like going through like the commander sets, like I'm gonna get them. So like I like zombies. I like Amonkhet. So like being in that setting again is kind of nice. And then like just like Slothy, like I've never played with energy before. So it's something that I'm gonna try to build like I built a PNLR deck for the deck tech, and I want to play with energy because like you can't get better unless you try new things, right? And since I've never played with energy before, I can't say whether the mechanics good or not, right? So, and the best way to gain the experience is to try to build around it. So, yeah, like I'm looking forward to when the set comes out in like a week.
It came out
yesterday, yeah.
Oh, for the pre-release, right?
Yeah. The official is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I think overall it's good. Definitely really well geared. Like the zombie one's geared more for beginners, and the energy one's probably more for like more experienced players. But yeah, overall, like I think they did a pretty good job for these commander sets.
Well, yeah, it's just another resource to manage, right? So it is difficult for a newer player to do that as much.
Yeah.
Again, there's nothing better than giving somebody a whole like, hey, here's an elf deck, whoop your opponents with them.
Yeah.
So I think like you said, I think that the zombie deck is probably more the beginner friendly deck if you were doing them. The both energy commanders seem like you have to manage the resources of like, okay, well, like I need to cast this to get this much to do this, to do that. Yeah, that's it. If you want any of these cards, let me whack the bam. If you guys like any of these cards, go over to houseofcards.ca. They are our lovely sponsor again. Promo code IT99, you're going to be able to pick up any of these cards over there. Great shipping, great prices, pretty fast. So they're wonderful. So go if you want any of these new cards or you want to build any of these decks, go over to houseofcards.ca. Put your new ones in AI Armor sleeves. Pretty great. If you want to talk deck theory with us, build with us, come over on Patreon. It's the number one like spot to like support the show above like the like, share, subscribe. We have great patrons. They're awesome to interact with, and I really appreciate all of them. So thank you so much, everyone who does support it, and everyone who does like, share, subscribe. It really means a lot. Everyone who doesn't, you guys are dead to me. But definitely do it. It's a nice way to get our stuff in front of other people. More videos are coming up and everything. I started rolling out some of the gameplay videos. You can see Emery just give us a real problem deck this week. So, and then next week's one of the Regal ones. It should be fun. So there's some cool stuff coming up. Thanks everyone for getting through this one, and I give you the music. I let you roll it out. Let me know what you think about this card. This cards. English is hard. That's enough music for people. Bye.